Hello, everyone. On today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about the word again. I've talked about this on other episodes, but I'm going to talk about it again in a different, using a different analogy and using different examples, you know, because in the Bible, it says in the beginning was the word, right? And many scientists would think, when you hear that word, it doesn't make sense. How can the word be the beginning, be in the beginning? Well, let me tell you something. Words aren't things that humans create. We didn't create words. We discovered words. Words and numbers are inherent properties of the world around us. You may think I'm lying, right? How can words be an inherent property of the world? Guess what? Numbers, right, is an inherent property of the world around you, like I stated before. And numbers are a subset of words, are they not? The word number one, the word one or the number one is also a word. Number two is also a word. Number three is also a word. One car, that's two words. Two cars, that's two words. So what I'm trying to get to is that, numbers and words are synonymous in a way, right? And scientists have already, accepted that numbers are an inherent, property of the world around us. If numbers are inherent properties of the world around us, and we didn't discover, we didn't create numbers, we discovered numbers. For example, one car will always be one car. Whether you say it's uno car, right? If you're speaking Spanish, it's uno. If you're speaking a different language, it's I. I think that's Roman numerals. One is I, right? And another word from one is mano. There's so many different, every language has their own word for one, for the number one, right? But no matter what language it is, a car will still be one. You see? One car will still be one car. The very concept of one is inherent within the world around us. One car will still be one car, whether you say it's uno car or one car or I car or mono car or a car. The concept one is inherent within the world. Two cars, die cars, or, dual cars or bi cars, whichever, or two cars, whichever word you want to use, two cars will still be two cars. Numbers are inherent properties of the world. You don't get to, you didn't invent numbers. You discovered numbers. Every person discovers a number. When someone gives you four pieces of candy, whether you're speaking Spanish or you're speaking English, 4 pieces of candy will still be 4. You didn't discover 4. You didn't discover you didn't create the number 4. You discovered it. And that's how words work. We don't discover words. We don't create words, we discover them. Words, just like numbers, are inherent properties of the world around us. Just like our intelligence is an inherent property of the world around us. We didn't create our own intelligence. We were born with the intelligence that we have. And the intelligence that we have came from the world around us. It's not something we invented with our own minds. The world isn't, when we say we create something, right? We create music, we create plays. The truth is we're not actually creating it. We're discovering it. We don't really create new things in life. we discover them. All the inventions that have been created, throughout mankind, throughout the history of humanity, we aren't actually creating them. We're discovering them with our own minds. And where's this source of discovery? Where's all our source of discovery? From intelligence, right? We discover things using our intelligence, right? Since we discover things using our intelligence, where did our intelligence come from? Our intelligence came from the world around us, right? Your intelligence came from energy. Your intelligence came from your cells, right? And your cells, what was the makeup of your cells? Protons, neutrons, and electrons. That's what your cells are made out of. And the energy within protons, neutrons, and electrons are intelligence. If you are intelligent, right, it means the energy within you is intelligent. If human cells are intelligent, by default, the things that make up our body is intelligent. If the things that make up our body is intelligent, right? And the thing that make up our body is all over the world. It means the world is intelligent. And this is, you don't even need to study quantum physics to know that the world around you is intelligent. That energy itself is intelligent. Just basic deductive reasoning, just basic logic can tell you that the world around you is intelligent. We aren't living in a mindless world that just moves on randomly. There's no random chance in this world. Everything is based off intelligence. Everything in this world works off logic. There's no illogical, the illogical process of this world is, it's an illusion. Gravity does not work off, random chance. Gravity can be, the laws of gravity can be tested and repeated over and over again. The laws of physics, it doesn't work on random chance. It's a logical law of the world, and it's an inherent property of the world. We didn't create the laws of physics. We didn't create the laws of electromagnetism. We didn't create these laws. These laws are inherent properties of the world around us, just like the word, just like words. We don't create words, we discover them. We didn't create the laws of physics, we discovered it. We didn't create numbers, we discovered them. Intelligence, we didn't create intelligence, we discovered it. We discovered that we were intelligent. We didn't create it, we discovered that we, as humans, or as living things, are intelligent. It isn't something we created. It has always existed. And basic logic states that the parts can never be greater than the whole, right? If the parts can never be greater than the whole, right? And humans, intelligent humans, are the part of the greater whole. The world itself is the whole, right? And humans are the part. Energy is the whole. Humans are the part. If the part is intelligent, it means the whole is intelligent, because the parts can never be greater than the whole. If humans are intelligent, then by default, the world around you is intelligent. Because guess what? The world around you is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons, just like humans. The very energy within your body that creates your intelligence is the very energy all over the world. You don't have anything special within you that, the world doesn't have. The body that your intelligent body was created with the same materials that the world around you is created with. That means by default that the world around you is intelligent. It's not human intelligence, but it is intelligent. The intelligence of an AI. An AI isn't alive, right? But it can still be considered intelligent, right? But it's not human intelligence. It's AI intelligence. Everything in this world is governed by intelligence. There's just different types of intelligence. There's intelligence that govern humans. There's intelligence that govern computers. There's there's intelligence that govern animals. There's intelligence that govern, the rules of the world, like gravity, um, electromagnetism, physics, biology. All the rules of the world is governed, is governed by intelligence. We live in an intelligent world. Everything around you is intelligent. It's just not human intelligence. Because it's not human intelligence, we assume it's not intelligent. But just because it's not human intelligence does not mean it's not intelligent. Just because a computer is not alive does not mean it's not intelligent. Just because a robot is not alive does not mean a robot is not intelligent. Robot can be intelligent. Yes, it requires human input to make it intelligent. But the reason a robot is intelligent isn't because of humans. It's because of the energy within it. Because the energy within is already inherently intelligent. It just needs humans to control that intelligence within it. Energy and intelligence are synonymous. Energy and intelligence are synonymous. You can't have one without the other. Without energy, there's no intelligence. That means intelligence comes with energy. Intelligence is an inherent property of energy. And the world is intelligent. And the world is omnipresent. The world itself is God. Just like the Bible says, God is omnipresent. Right? The Bible states that God is omnipresent and God is intelligent. If God is intelligent and omnipresent, just like the energy in the world, then God and energy are synonymous. God and energy are the same thing, which is exactly the definition of God, omnipresent. Everything in this world is omnipresent. God is the source of all intelligence because God is intelligence itself. And no, we don't create words. Words are an inherent property of the world around us, just like numbers. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We are part of God. Our intelligence comes from God. Our knowledge comes from God. Our choices comes from God. God gave us free will. Without God, there is no free will. Without God, there is no logic. Without God, there is no thoughts. Everything about you is energy. Everything about you is God. Everything you know is energy. Everything you know is God. All your thoughts come from God. All your thoughts come from energy. Everything you see comes from God. Everything that has been invented in this world comes from energy. Everything that has been invented in this world comes from God. Without God, nothing exists, not even the Word. Without God, logic fails. Without the energy, there is no such thing as logic. Without God, there's no such thing as logic. There's no difference between you and God because God is omnipresent. And there's no difference between you and energy because energy is omnipresent. There's no difference between the word energy and God because God is energy and energy is God. So do not let, atheists deceive you. You live in an intelligent world. You don't need, quantum physics to prove it because basic logic states that the parts can never be greater than the whole. If humans are intelligent, it means the world around us is by default intelligent. You don't need, to do any quantum physics to study it. But yes, quantum physics has shown that the world around you is intelligent. It knows when it's being watched. The world that you think is dumb and pointless and mindless knows when you're watching it. It knows when people are present. It knows when it's being studied. It knows when it's being measured. It knows when it's being watched. The very world that you think is mindless is intelligent enough to know that it's being watched. Do not be deceived into thinking God doesn't exist. The world around you is God. It is the intelligent creator that you're looking for. The world is intelligent by default because we are intelligent. If we are intelligent and we are part of the world, our very essence is the world itself, then the world is intelligent. God is intelligent. If we are a part of God and we are intelligent, it means God is intelligent. Just because scientists do not call energy God does not mean it's not. Don't allow atheists to deceive you into thinking God doesn't exist, because your very existence itself is God. You exist because God exists. You're intelligent because God is intelligent. This world is intelligent because God is intelligent. And that's how life works. Do not get deceived into thinking God doesn't exist, because you won't be here without God. You will not be here without God. Scientists have no, it's already logically impossible for God not to exist. I asked the atheist, like I said before, they would tell you, you can't prove that God doesn't exist. You know why you can't prove that God doesn't exist? Something that exists, it's impossible to prove something that exists doesn't exist. If something exists, it's impossible for you to prove that it doesn't exist. It is impossible. And guess what? It's impossible to prove that God doesn't exist. It's a fact. It is impossible to prove that God doesn't exist. And I just give you, basic proof that God exists. If this world is intelligent, then this world is God. It is the very definition of what God is. Omnipresent and intelligent. This world is omnipresent and intelligent. God is omnipresent and intelligent. By default, this world and God are the same thing. That's the basic definition of what God is. The very world around you. The very intelligent world around you. Governed by rules. The rules of gravity. The rules of thermodynamics. The rules of electromagnetism. The rules of biology. The laws of biology. The laws of physics. These are inherent properties of the world. These are rules. Logical rules. Created by a logical God. Created by an intelligent being. Because it's very complicated, we automatically assume that, because it's so complicated, many scientists just assume that no one created it. But guess what? God is not a human being. Stop assuming God is a human being. God is omnipresent. Being omnipresent, it means he's not a human being. A human being is not omnipresent. A human being is not omnipresent. Stop assuming God is a human. Stop seeing God as a human being. He's not. He's far too intelligent. God is the source of intelligence. Something far more intelligent than a supercomputer. God is countless, infinite times more intelligent than a supercomputer. God is the definition of infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence. That is not something a human being can understand. Something, with infinite intelligence. Is it impossible with for something infinitely intelligent to create this small world that we live in? Do you really think it's impossible for God, an omnipresent, super intelligent being, infinitely intelligent being, to create this small world that we live in? Are you going to tell us what God can or can't do? Do you even know God? Do you even know who the being God is? You have no idea who God is. Stop pretending that you do. God is far more intelligent than you can possibly imagine. He's not a human. Stop thinking that he is. That's it for today's podcast episode. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.